Hello and welcome to Dyson Sphere Program. It's very quiet. Turn that up as well. Okay, that's weird. That's on maximum. Why is that on maximum volume for me? I can't hear anything. I don't know what's going on there. Yes, so Dyson Sphere Program. It's got an update this week on Thursday. And they introduced a bunch of new stuff. There were some bits that they didn't quite say that they were going to do. And one of which I guessed was a geothermal power thing. Let's load the game up. I have been very, very busy in the game. I think there's been some new music because I don't recognise this music. It's a bit more soft, a bit less bombastic than the previous tunes that used to play. So basically, what they've done is they've introduced a new thing in the upgrades. It's sort of tucked out. It's a bit weird in that this one here is. So it says, I mean, it's why it's not got a line, basically. But it says it requires logistics carrier capacity 8. Well, 7 is your maximum without doing another. You have to do an infinite, because this is one of the infinite techs. So you have to do one infinite and then you can unlock this. So it's why it's not got a direct line. But basically, once you get a few of these, and I think this remains, well, it shows it still as infinite. So you can keep doing this one, even though this is a limited one. And what it seems to relate to, obviously we would need to unlock it, and we're not actually producing white cubes yet, so it'd be a while before we unlock that one. But it's this logistics station cargo stack count, because what they seem to have introduced is cargo stacking, so the belts can now be have items vertically stacked on them. I don't know how that works. I don't know whether it's the same item stacked on top of each other or multiple items stacked on top of, different items can be stacked on top of each other. I don't know. But what this seems to allow to do, because that stacking is unlocked somewhere else, and this seems to allow the actual, the logistics stations to do it. So items coming out of the logistics station can be stacked. So this is 1, 2, and 3, basically. So you get stacking on those. We can only have that once you've done this one. So we're a long way off doing it, basically, because we haven't actually got the white cubes yet. It's what we're sort of aiming towards this stream on Monday, is getting the Dyson Sphere working, which will give us a lot more power, or started, which will give us a lot more power, and then we can basically start on white cubes once we've got that appropriate technology. They have introduced new technologies. Now these were the ones that the accelerator ones that were just sort of sat here as just accelerator without any actual description on them. But as suspected, it's this spray coater and the different sprays on it. Now, input the proliferator into the spray coater from the conveyor belt port above the spray coater, and it will be sprayed onto the cargoes. When the spray cargoes are used as raw materials to produce the next level products, it can obtain extra products or production speed up. It will also increase the power consumption. So what it seems to be saying, when these were first revealed or first found in the game files, etc., or hinted at, it just talked about speeding up, that you would get production speed up 25% bonus, as it says there. I think they've actually buffed what they were, because I think they looked at the feedback on the forums about what these were, and people were like, well, what's the point of that? I can just put more machines down. But this seems to be, so 100% speed up is effectively one machine counts as 2 machines, but it's only an extra 150% energy cost, so effectively it costs half as much for a new machine if you use the coater instead. Now it is quite expensive, and I think they've actually tweaked that as well. Yeah, they have, because these required Casimir crystals in the original light game files, and now they don't. It's carbon nanotubes, which are a lot cheaper to produce, and a lot easier to produce. and that's just diamonds. And diamonds, there's like very little use for, so that gives a good use there. That machine uses the weird silicon thingies, so there's another use for them to make these machines, because they're basically only used for circuits, like the advanced circuits at the moment. That's just coal, so it's virtually, and that's what it was before. This wasn't diamonds, I'm pretty sure, and this definitely was Casimir crystals. So these look quite good now because you get free stuff basically. So extra products 25%. So effectively it's a prod module bonus, and that's 20%, and this one's 15. No, 25.5, 12.5. So it doubles basically. So 12.5 to 25, and then what's that? Oh, it stays at 25, but of course it's a heck of a lot faster. That's 50% speed up with a 70% bonus, extra energy cost, and that's a 100% speed up. So they seem like they're worth having now, because you're going to get free stuff out of them. That also helps with the stacking. That sort of, I think that might be why they've introduced the stacking, because if you put if you do those on like green circuits or something, you would be drowning in products. You wouldn't be able to get them out quick enough. So if you can now stack them, then effectively you're tripling your output in one belt. The other thing they've introduced is this one. As I say, this was a sneaky one that they had a picture for, but no text about in that update they did. It looks fairly good to me. It gives you 2.4 megawatts of generation. Obviously, you can only put it on geothermal planets, but it's a good option for them, I think. And it gives you 2.4 megawatts. So, what's a comparison with that? So, a single wind turbine can only give you 300 kilowatts. So, what's that? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. So, it's effectively like 8 wind turbines. And of course, wind turbines are affected by wind levels on your planet, as is solar. You know, that's 360 kilowatts, so slightly better. So, it's maybe the equivalent of sort of 7 of those. But, you know, oops, hang on a second. I should note I've had some internet connection problems, so if the stream suddenly dies, it's one of the reasons I switched to OBS, but if it dies, it'll go to like a holding screen, and I'll have to cut that out on the YouTube version, but it's one of the problems with the Twitch streamer, which is a really good product, but if your internet connection severs, it just dies, it just stops. And you can't restart the stream, you have to start a new stream. It's a bit of a pain. Some people were suggesting as well there'd been performance improvements, but my stats are all red. Although, to be fair, I've been massively increasing the production, so there's a heck of a lot going on now. So it may be better performing, but I'm, you know, tanking it with a lot of production going on. Oh, it should all be sort of finished. It's sort of steady state at the moment now. So yeah, those seem interesting. Obviously, we haven't got any geothermal planets yet. But you've also got this, the integrated logistics system. So it says after setting up the automatic piler on the conveyor, which that's what that is. That's the automatic piler, and this is the stacking. So on the conveyor belt, it can automatically integrate 2 consecutive cargoes into one, which greatly improves the carrying capacity of the conveyor belt. I say that implies to me that it has to be the same type of item that it stacks. It may not, but this is quite a cheap technology, so we might as well unlock that one now. And I guess, I mean, we could unlock these, but say we don't have any geothermal planets yet. These we can also, I mean, 200, that's nothing. You know, 800 and 600 isn't that expensive for us now, because there's loads stacked up. It's basically been sat there doing a few upgrades, and then it's just I've not done any science, so all of my buffers are all full up, and we can do that. So we can give these a go. I don't know that we'll really, you know, implement them, but we can give them a go today, hopefully, or on Monday. Now that we obviously had this before, and we can do this one, but to build them you need the unipolar magnets, and I'm not going to get them today. The quantum printing is obviously worth doing, because that's the improved replicator, so we could do that one. But the one I want to we might as well try and unlock, and this was a bit ironic actually. I'd interpreted the level 2 miner, which is what that is, as basically just a better version of the existing miner, but it's a completely different thing. The problem with it is, and why we won't be able to do it probably, today or maybe even Monday, is you see the purple things on the far right. Those are the diffraction grating crystals. I think I can never remember which is which, but you need them to build it, and 40 of them each. So it's brilliant. So using the quantum chip to positively intervene the photon group generated by the exciter in the transition process, it can lead in. They really need someone to work on the English translation, because that's gobbledygook. It can lead to it can lead a obvious bunching effect of the laser beam. Under the action of the special gravitational field, the focused laser beam rapidly heats the ore veins along the predetermined path, transports in the form of particles, and encapsulates into cargo. It can be built more convenient and have a higher gathering speed. The collection ores can be transported out by conveyor belts or logistic drones. Basically, this is like an area of effect miner. So you plop it down, and it covers an entire patch. It's got like, you might need sort of 2 to cover some other weirder patches, but you could team it with the normal miners. And it covers like an entire patch and basically sucks out resources evenly across the patches, across the ore nodes. And literally it just covers them, and you can connect it up either with the drones, or you can have 9 transport belts come out of it, as I understand it. And I think you could probably stack with it as well. I don't know about that one, but basically it replaces your entire boring, tedious mining setup, which is, I say, it's quite ironic. So that's the first one. That's the stacker, the automatic piler. The automatic piler can greatly increase the capacity of conveyor belt when the power supply is sufficient. It will automatically stack consecutive incoming cargo from the low port and output 1 stack cargo at the high port. The maximum cargo stack count is 4. Yeah, so it looks like it's doubled up items, basically. So you could, in theory, you could put a green belt in, a blue belt out, by the looks of things. So that's, one way of doing it, sort of thing. That's the spray coater proliferator. The spray coater and proliferator can greatly increase the production line efficiency. Set up the spray coater on or connected to the conveyor belt. Input the proliferator into it, so that the proliferator can automatically be sprayed onto the cargo of the conveyor belt passed by. So it seems to be showing it. Items that have been sprayed with proliferator receive a proliferator point. The effect of the proliferator will also be directly determined by the proliferator point. Oh, okay. So you can either have extra products or speed up. That's interesting. There are some items that do not get the effect of extra product, but only get speed up production or get other effects. For example, items for research mode and matrix lab. Extra hashes. Okay. Okay. So we'll probably play about that. It might be Monday when I actually do that. Oh, got the next one as well. You see, they're not that expensive. But so this thing sits over an entire patch, and is basically, you just plop one of them down and you've mined the patch. So it makes mining massively more easy. The irony was, I say, that they put this in, and I've already basically mined. We don't have any. Well, we do. There's some titanium on one of the planets, but basically there are no mining patches left. I could replace them, but again, I'd have to get the whichever it is, the diffraction crystal gratings, which are on, another planet, and I'm not gonna do that today. But yeah, they've not introduced anything at this top level, so that's sort of the main introductions. The other thing they have done, just to show you while those techs run, is this armor customizer. Now, I was completely wrong, basically, about how it's going to work. So they've done a couple of default ones, like free ones, effectively. And this was, so Purple Boy is just this is my coloured normal Icarus. But they've got a couple of examples for you here of like ones that you can create. Now, what I thought it was that these components would be basically purchasable. So you would basically buy these different bits And it's a good integration for the workshop, it seems to me. Eventually, they've not got that, but yeah, that is meant to be coming. But people could put these up on the workshop, and you could download them, or they would just provide 10 default ones. And it is that the bit that's different, or that I hadn't understood, is that. So here's another example, green lad with the things here, is that you don't, what is going on about here with these tags, right, is that you make them, as in you literally design them. So and I can edit them here. Well, I could if you have to put resources into it, which I'm not sure about. But so where's a good one that's nice and visible? So this is our shoulder 2, right? And what you can do is you can edit it, right? I think, if I can get it to do it. I can't remember how I did it before. Can I get you to do that? Are you gonna work for? Maybe it won't let me edit it because I did get it to tweak some fan shape. No, you see, I've got some Chinese. Oh, there we go. So you literally edit the parts. So it's like, I don't know. I've never used them, but like Blender or something like that, where you are manipulating the components and you can make them. So I've just changed the modifier there. So we can move. You see, it's got like, I mean, this is like Unity or something, and you can move them about. And what else? Sort of rotate them. But you can also distort them, which is what I was trying to do, but didn't seem to want to let me. No, you're not gonna. Left mouse. It's saying add block, but it's not doing anything. Switch orientation. No. I mean, you can't. You see, I don't know if you can see my cursor there, but it's not changing it. And I thought it would do. Certainly, I edited one of the other panels, but you see, you can literally make your own mecha, basically, which is not what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be people could make them offline, like City Skyline or something, where you make them. You have to use. Let's get out of that. It's I didn't want it to do that. So I load up my one as the default one. But yeah, so you can like edit these parts basically. I say, and to do it, you have to put in material components. So yeah, it's interesting, but it's way beyond me. I mean, that's way more than I could do. But I say, hopefully they'll have some kind of, and it's got to say there, folder and exploder. So basically, I'm guessing you probably could make it in Blender or something, and import them. But yeah, that's way more sort of feature rich than I was expecting, which is cool. But as I say, way beyond me. I could change colours and end up with something maybe not too horrendous. But in terms of actually editing these components to make them different shapes and stuff, that's too much for me, I think. But say, hopefully there'll be some kind of workshop integration where you can download other people's designs, which will be quite cool. Okay, how are we doing with those researchers? They're still chugging away. Yeah, so the mission today, really, what I was hoping to achieve was get... I say we can play about with these if we get to it. I don't think there's any point sort of reworking the designs and stuff yet to do them, but say it would be good to play. And I haven't really done anything with the traffic monitor either, so I could mess about with that. But it's basically these. So we need to get to the stage where we're launching rockets, basically, so that we can actually start making this Dyson Sphere. Because I've done a load of scaling up, not quite enough of, of the high level stuff. I'm making loads of circuits and the basics basically. But in terms of like the big stopping point at the moment is oil products. So and in particular sulfuric acid, because you need it for the old titanium alloy, and you need loads of it, as you can see. it's a 1 to 2 ratio. So yeah, but we are making, I'm already making frame components in tiny volumes, but we're making them. So basically we need to make Dyson Sphere components, small carrier rockets, and I need to build some of these launchers, and we'll get our first few going. How it works, essentially, they've also changed this. There's a new version of the Dyson Sphere thing, and essentially it's a bit more explanative. It sort of makes a bit more sense. And basically, it's the same but like upgraded. So we've still got the Dyson Sphere, the original one there. And what we basically the reason these are red is we can't build in these latitudes yet. You have to do researches to enable you to build further up. But we can build at these components, at these, like this blue level. And you can actually now blueprint it and stuff, but you have to have done it to blueprint it. So what we need to do basically, I think those are just different designs. I don't think they make any real difference, but basically we need to put some of these nodes in, and I'm just going to go boring. It's nothing. I'm not going to do any clever. In fact, we'll turn. So that basically pauses the game so that it's not rotating, and we'll just put in like one of those, like per thing. It automatically puts these in, and what we'll do eventually, we'll just go up diagonally. But say you have to do researches to do latitudes, but we'll put sort of 4 in at the moment. And what happens is it launches rockets, and it's basically filling up these bits. So what you need to, before this is finished, we'll need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rockets. I think actually these take like 3 or 4 each, so it's more like 4 times that, 24 or something like that. And I think these take like half a dozen as well. But so it's quite a lot of rockets will be needed to do that. But once they're there, it's finished. Now we can't insert the solar panel. I mean, these contain solar panels, so they will give us power, quite a lot of power actually. In fact, you can get away with not putting the solar cells in it, but basically it's only once you've got a pattern that like a solid shape that you can make, that it will then have space to put the solar panels in. So that's our sort of starting point. So we need to launch a bunch of rockets to do that. Now it's not actually going to be that difficult, because as I say, we're making everything, and they're sort of stockpiled, so we should be able to make a good sort of half dozen rockets or so. North, right. So where do we want to put them is the question. I tend to put them close to my things here. They're not constrained by orientation because they're rockets, so they'll just fly around basically. But it's useful to have them close together just so that you know where they are, in my opinion. And there's an argument for going and putting them, because obviously this is a swarm here, for putting them on that planet, but then we'd have to move. I'm not making any of the stuff there, so I'd have to fly it all over. So we might as well put them here, and they'll just fly over. It's just a transit time thing. It doesn't, they're rockets, so they'll go anywhere basically. So we'll head down to that thing there. Yeah, the FPS is still tanking for me, so I don't know if that's because all this scaling up I've done has defeated any optimization they did, but yeah. Right, so I mean, I'll probably hand make certainly the first few silos. All we have to basically do is make these and these basically. Now, as you see, they're very high level material that they require, but we are making everything. We're making frames, we're making solar panels, we're making circuits, and we're making the deuterium rods. In fact, I've got loads of them now, and we're making the quantum chips, but I say not in massive volumes. Now we do have solar panels here, don't we? So we might as well use this to order up some more of the stuff we need. Now, what is that? So if we're making these guys, we need frame materials. And what else? We need chips. And we'll probably need another one. Oh, I don't know. We might be able to get away too. So we will then need them. And what? Them and them. So we've now got everything, in theory, able to be called in. I say not in any kind of... I'm just going to put 1,000 on each. So we don't have that many in the system. Another tweak they did is these now stacked. Well, they stacked 200 in your inventory and 100 in the things. I don't know if that's because I'm towards the end game. But that's too many. That's way too many. So we only want like 50 basically. But it's the whole thing. They've basically tweaked the game, rebalanced it a bit. You're still only limited to 10 of them. But they've sort of rebalanced the game a bit so that it's better for later game. And I guess in theory making mega bases, if that's sort of what you wanted to do. That seems to be what they've gone with. Or what they're trying to do anyway. I'm sure there's more optimization and stuff coming. Next also old Nilhouse and Catherine the Sky have both started new series, which is sort of great, I think, but I'm assuming no one's going to watch this because I'm just nobody. I was only benefited from the fact that basically nobody streams this, but that's fine. I'm not, I'm never that fussed whether nobody watches or whatever. I'd be playing it anyway, so. But yeah, it was sort of. And it gets a bigger buzz, for the game, which is always great. Right, so what I think we'll do. Can I actually make any of them? No, I haven't got any. Graviton lenses or quantum chips. So if we flip this round, then we can grab some quantum chips. I'm just going to put them on those. I'm actually making those on one of the foreign planets. That's sort of how high level I've got. But I mean, these look like there's loads coming in, but that's probably like our entire supply of frame things, and that's because we've not been doing that research. That's should I do another research, or should we just leave it? I'm tempted to do these ones. Yeah, let's just do them so that they're ready. Because we'll probably do some interplanetary stuff. So that'll get, when I do we can go and get the other bits and pieces, basically. We can also do the upgrades, I guess, that get us longer ranges. Yeah, we might as well just stack them up, really. Because that one gets you... Do we want that one first, or... Or do we want the frame? Let's get that one first. Let's just do that one and leave it be. Because we also want that, I guess, in conjunction. Should I add that one as well? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, they've definitely added some new music because this is new. Right, so yes, it should have brought some of the... Yeah, okay, so it's brought some of these. If I grab them, how many do I actually need to make one? Oh, only 10, so we'll have them. Graviton lenses are somewhere in some thing here. I've started also color coding things. It's not particularly nicely laid out, but it makes it so much easier to find things. So let's grab a bunch of them. That was weird. And then I should be able to make a couple of these launchers. I'm only, oh, well, there we go. Titanium inlay is not requested, so let's grab a little bit of that. And titanium alloy, I think, is somewhere up north. Is this it? Yeah, there we go. But that's, I say, that's like all of our, titanium alloy. Like all that I've got, literally. So as soon as it's gone, and it'll go quickly. wrong key. So we'll make a couple of them. That's the you have mastered the technology of geothermal extraction, and now you can build a geothermal power station to capture the enormous energy contained in the magma on the lava planet and input the energy into the grid. Lovely jubbly. So these are pretty meaty, these. I can't remember why it has 3 inputs. I think it's just to give you options, but as you see, they're pretty big beasties, these.
You have built a vertical launching silo. Now you can use it to construct the main structure of the Dyson Sphere. But before that, you need to enter the Dyson Sphere panel to finish planning the Dyson Sphere nodes and frames. After the plan is completed, the vertical launching silo will automatically launch small carrier rockets loaded with Dyson Sphere components to build the nodes and frames. Each rocket provides 1 structure point, and you can use the vertical launching silo panel to master the required structured points.
Basically, that's what I've explained, but in my opinion, slightly more confusing English. Yeah, so basically, it slots the components into the Dyson Sphere. Is the basics. I'll leave them turned off for the time being. I'm planning on building the rockets here essentially, and say we'll literally have like 2 machines making them, and then I'll feed the rockets in. But it's just to get us going basically, because you get sort of virtuous circle thing going on. But we need to build the components. So those take 8 seconds each. And then the rockets, which take 6 seconds each. So you don't need as many of those as you do as those. No, so you need more of those than you do of those. But each one takes 2. So if we do, say... Well, let's build 8 of these. So in theory it's 1 a second. I say it's not, because we won't be able to support that long term. But in theory it's 1 a second. And then that would allow us to build... We would need 2. So how many of those could we support? So if building, so it'd take 2 seconds to get enough for 1 of those. So we could support 3, I think. Yeah, so let's do that. I say in theory. In practice, it's just not. That's not going to happen at all. I'm literally going to hand feed these in. We will eventually need like a proper production system. And I'm going to do them... Which way am I going to do them? If I do them going that way... Yeah. We might need to move this down, actually, but I'm a bit... I have left some local production. We are making basically all the cogs elsewhere, but I just left these, mainly because they're full of stuff. And it would have been quite painful to get rid of it all, really. But we've got like local production of some of those, but once it's all run out, I'm not going to... Well, I might turn the demand off, basically. And we'll just run them out. And that'll give me more room on this planet. But yeah, we also need to bring in that, don't we? I'm going to need more room, aren't they? Because... What do you take? You take... Yeah, you take those 3. So this is a terrible place to build this, really, isn't it? Given I've got this here. How about, as I say, I just get rid of this, because it's not... It's dwarfed by the production of cogs on the other systems, so... It's not really... So I'm not keen on... I think what I will do... Yeah, I'll turn this off. So I'll turn it to storage. I guess we can chuck these in as well. And then it eventually it will get through all those cogs. It'll take ages though. And then I can get rid of it altogether. Yeah, but we need... So we need, instead of that, what we need is... I say really I should be, putting loads of systems where it's using the logistics and all that sort of stuff. That's what I should be doing, but... I'm not. In fact, how am I going to do this then? So what we could do, we could loop it back round. So I seem to recall that you can put them in there and they'll come out the other side. So you can put them like... Oh, no, that's right. This is weird, in that you have to use the inserters, but it doesn't look like you can use the inserters. It looks like you can feed that in direct, but you don't. So what we need to do instead is use splitters, basically. I remember that from before. Because that doesn't that look like one of those insert belt here? But it isn't. Right, so make a bunch of them. What we need to use splitters. So basically, in fact, we'll put the splitters. But you can put them. It's weird. The collision on this is strange. In that if you look at it, it's a square box. But I say we can put splitters in there. Not that we will, because it's a bit of a pain if you do. But so basically, we need the rockets to come that way, and then go backwards. And that'll give us a little bit of room to, I'm not planning on really using this for that. Oh, no, you don't. Well, you do need to use splitters, but we'd have to take it right up to it and then insert them. And you can obviously loop the belt round, but in fact, yeah, I'll just do it this way though. But yeah, it's always odd to me that this uses these. I have made a load of satellite substations, so if one of the things I did do is boost up this production area so that it now makes these guys. And I have gone to the other planets. They're sort of self-sustaining now in that they've got enough solar and wind to keep them going. Right, we'll get rid of that now. And this one will need to be closer. We said 3 of them, didn't we? So put a third one there, say. But this also needs these. So we can come out of here with them. Oops. Wrong direction, belt. Wrong direction. And then it also needs them. Like so. And then the third thing it needs will be coming the other direction, because that'll be the frames. So it's going to need... Oh, why did you go to that position? No? Yeah. There and there. And then output. There. So we were going to do 3 of these, so we'll get them on the go. So we'll need sort of power out, but do that in a second. We'll take these a bit further up. So the first one. Oh, why have I used yellows? Old habits. So yeah, so the flame materials we need. I say we'll try and build 8 of it. I mean, we can't support that, but so we'll try to. So we want. Well, actually, let's put the connections on first. So. Output there, please. And you want the other bits. So you want... Have I got enough room for this? We want... What are the ratios? What are your ratios? What are your ratios, lad? 3, 3, 3. So it doesn't matter what order we put them in. So we want the panels. There. We want the frame materials. There. We want the whatever it called quantum chips. Personally prefer oven chips myself, but each to their own, I guess. Right, so let's get you hooked up, and then we'll copy you down. Yeah, there are like, I mean, I haven't put drones in a lot of these things here, but there are like thousands of drones now across the entire system. I suppose really I should have streamed it, or at least some of it, but I was sort of quite keen to do this episode. 2, 4, and then 4 more. Collide with other objects? Oh, it's because it's trying to grab the... Ooh, just do that. So I've actually, I'll say earlier in the week, I was doing like huge number of hours on this. It was all very grindy. Really, it sort of gets to that stage. I'm sort of hoping some of the stuff they have put in with this new update, these new stackers and stuff, will like reduce some of that. But we'll have to see. So I get this going, and then we'll have a play with those. Oh, if I disconnected it, it's not going to make any cogs, etc. If it doesn't have the power. Wait, why have you not? Oh, it's because I took out the one. Yeah. So you need that one. There. There we go. Right. Yeah, these are awesome, these. They cover a huge area. You can basically get your entire build, you know, when you're doing these, especially with the blue belts, you can get like your entire build covered with just like 2 of them, including the station. But yeah, they are rocking. Why are you complaining about not having... Oh, have I put the wrong one? I have put the wrong ones. What an idiot. So this should be those chips, not these chips. Right, let's clear this belt out. We can put them back in the thing. Wrong chips, you see. It's the wrong chips, Gromit. The wrong chips. I'm making a new Wallace and Gromit. Yeah, a bit weird. Wallace not being voiced by Peter Sallis, but the much missed Peter Sallis. It was always Gromit that was the real star of Wallace and Gromit, anyway. The much. What you call it? It's like I don't know. It's like the eye rolling and stuff that he does. Is that enough? You see, it's on the extra products or production speed. So it's built into the machine, that, and you just feed in or spray the things. That's an interesting way of doing it. But yeah, these are sufficiently slow that level 1 inserters should be fine, basically. But it wouldn't be, I guess, with the speed up. Now, what about you? Are you getting some milestone? Oh, we didn't watch it. We didn't watch it. First one. There we go. Off it goes. That's the second one, I assume. You see how they are quick. You know, it's not a slow process with these at all. The issue is going to be that I just don't have the production to support these. Milestone, you launched your first rocket on Zubin Elganubi 3, and thus taken another step closer to completing the Dyson Sphere. This rocket will carry out your dreams to #1001 according to its established trajectory. I guess that's the name for my Dyson Sphere? And the first Dyson Sphere will surely start to appear before your eyes. You see, if it lobs them out, you know, it's not a slow process. And what's happening, in fact, we could probably follow it, because we're sufficiently quick. Where are they? Where are you? There's a rocket. Flying off. You see it blasts off. Come on, speed up. See it's zooming over there. You see it? This little blue dot there. I don't know if you can see it on the stream, which is shrunken down. But they fly over to the, and it doesn't. I say this is why it doesn't matter where you put these, because they'll just fly over to it. Where did you go? Here we go. Here's the actual Dyson Sphere bit, as it were, that they're making, and it's obviously the first sort of node point. Basically, let's slow right down so we can get a bit of a look at that. Oh, there we go. So it's firing them over. As I say, you see them landing? Basically, they get inserted into this thing here. This thing itself is made of them. We're not getting these for free. But they go into this portal. Portal? This, I don't know what you call it. Entry point here. I mean, they'll spread across the others. They don't all go into the... They sort of evenly spreads them across the things, is my memory. But basically it's building these, and these, I say, they take a few of these to make themselves. If we look at the Dyson Sphere, it should tell us how it's doing. Pause that. Where is this now? Here we go. Oh, so it's way more than a dozen. So the structure point, which is what this is, these are the structure points. Well, they're nodes basically, but you see it says planned 70, delivered 3, constructed 13. Not sure what the difference is between delivering 3 and constructed 13. So we've had 13 go in, but it carries 2, remember. So it carries 2 of the structure points, which odd that that's an odd number then. But anyway, there's 3 coming in, and eventually when it gets to 70, this node point is complete, right? So this one here, so 110 planned, 70 planned. And the reason for the difference is that what it's actually putting, they're going in there. Eventually they'll go into this long node thing, and of course this one is only. So if you imagine that this is the center point of this section, that's why it's 110, because this then is like half. It's not. It's a bit odd because these things have a different cost in and of themselves. But if let's actually do it. So if I just chuck one in there. Oh, I need to put the constructor in, don't I? There we go. This should now change to 110. There you go, you see. So it's basically saying on both, it needs to fill them in on both sides. And what it'll do, so effectively these are, it shows them there, but they're only like a little bit built. And then each one of these like segments like that, these bits as it were, has a certain cost to it. So yeah, that's what the frame components are. So it'll take a while, it's a slow process. But I might as well just chuck them all in basically. No, because it's better for it to complete one. How many is that then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But let's get rid of that one. It's better to complete them because then you start getting better power out of them. And then once it's done, we'll get more in. You can see the rockets as well. These are the rockets coming in. There we go. So there you go. So that's us building a Dyson Sphere. It takes ages, basically. It's why I never completed and you can fly through it. So you can see it's not doesn't have a tangible. It's not physically there. Oh, I need to tab. There we go. Whoop. But yes, that's why I never fully completed a full Dyson Sphere on my first playthrough, because you don't need to. You get so much power out of just like a couple of rows of the frame that you can easily, do all of the like energetic photon things that you need. So yeah, you don't kind of technically need to do it. It's more if you want to. And you don't even, you can just stick with a swarm, but that's so material intensive that you are better off at least making a few frames instead as a replacement, or to make the sails last forever. And here you go, you see, so we have all of my frames are now being used up basically. So we can put more of this in. Now what I have been working on when I've been doing this is, as I've said before, the blueprinting I'm not a fan of. But what you're better off to do, I think, is you have like generic blueprints. So where I've gone full on, this is rock, this is circuits, I think it's better to have like a generic logistics station blueprint of different designs, maybe, ones that have one product, ones that have 2 products, where like the smelting ones where you have more lanes so that you can fill up the lane because there's 2 products being used each time. So I think it's better to have generic ones in the actual blueprint library, are very simple ones, and then you set it for whatever you want, and however many. So if we wanted another one of these with the station, we copy it, and then you can just do use now, and you can stamp it down wherever. You can't. It's really weird in the restrictions it puts on you. But if you just want to extend one, it's better to do this basically and copy it up and add it on that way. And if you make sure your belts stick out, then it's a lot easier to, you don't have to manually connect it. So if you do an extra bit of belt on the end effectively each time, then it automatically connects them together like that. And particularly when we start using these satellite substations more, you know, we don't need to worry too much about spacings for power poles and stuff. So there you go. So I've literally just doubled that up, no problem. And that's what this is good for. The blueprint system, I think it's the equivalent of the Control C, Control V in Factorio. It's just that Factorio's actual blueprint system is just way better. But this, what it's doing is the equivalent of Control C, Control V, but presenting it as a blueprint system. Yeah, so we've doubled that up now, you see. In fact, we might even do more than that, I think. How long do those take to make? It takes 6 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's only 1 a second there. So if I do another, and also, oh, it won't let me do it because I messed about with the blueprint library. But if you just copy it, you can literally just do Control V as well. Just like randomly. You don't have to. So if I do Control V again, it's the same blueprint. So if you're copying and pasting, you know, from one, you can copy and paste from one side to the other. So, you know, I could Control V, you know, turn that round. Just hit R twice to do that, and then it'll fit on the other side as well. So it's actually quite good, sort of overall, but it's not quite as advertised in my opinion. If you see what I mean. So if you're now making 6 a second, we've got 3, 6, 9, 12. You take 6 seconds each. So in theory, that's 4 per second. 6 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a bit more like what we would need. But I don't think we've got enough titanium alloy. I'm looking at it. Really needs the power things tidying up. Yeah, so I believe the titanium alloy is up here somewhere. There you go. We've got now got a use for diamonds, or a proper use. Right, is this? Where are we? Here we go. So this is. Oh yeah, these are horribly placed, aren't they? Maybe we could like double it that way. What do you need? You need titanium, steel, sulfuric acid. I mean, this is like ridiculously low amount of production for this one, because this is basically run out. That one there. There is another. We could go and set up another sulfuric acid production. Because we do have a couple of extra oil nodes. We could do that, and we could play about with these new things, just almost to see how they work, more than anything else. But to do that, I really need to, because there is a dedicated area producing sulfuric acid. What I do also have, bizarrely, is a plastics production facility. And plastic is only used in organic crystals. And it's not feeding into organic crystals. So, that's a bit strange, I must admit. Right. How could I do? I mean, what I could do... Could I? Why don't we... So if we take sort of one of these, like modules there, and put that on there, and instead of... What way around? Oh, no. What way around is your... So you want sulfuric... Wait, it doesn't matter, does it? But sulfuric acid... Ow. Sulfuric acid in the closest one. Okay, so maybe if we take sulfuric acid out there, like that, and then, oops, this is the more ally going in. So should be able to, no, should be able to copy that one across now. Is the input and output right? Yeah, input and output's right, okay. So if this was, oops, I keep doing that. That was, no, other way around? No. Oh, I guess they're not. I've offset them rather than do that, okay. So this would be that one. Yeah, okay. So that's the output? He says, not entirely sure. You're going to be weird at me, are you? Yeah, you're going to be weird at me. Yeah, so I was massively playing this game earlier in the week, but then Hitman 3 came out on Steam. And it's also got PC VR in it, but I kind of left... I mean, I wouldn't have had time to play it sort of anyway. But I kind of left buying... Which are you? You're upper and down. So it is that one we want. Except that that one's raised, is it? No, it's just kinked. Okay, so if we put this here... This is all a bit messy. But yeah, I sort of left buying it on Epic Games Store. I'm not against... I know some people hate it, but I'm not against Epic Games Store in any way. Excuse me, really. It's just, I've got Hitman 1 and 2 on Steam, so I was like, well, I might as well get it. Wait for it to come out on there. So what would you be? You would be, if you were that one, would that work? So if I do that. Get rid of that. Connect these two. Upper level, please. Like that. Then this needs to go in there. Except for some reason it doesn't like that. So we do that first. And then that. And then we want to be at lower level. Out there. So that's very messy. I didn't have to do that, did I? Because you can use these omnidirectionally. So we could have come out of we could have come out of there basically. Oh, doesn't matter. Don't matter. Right, so let's use one of our new power lads to completely power everything. And then let's see what we need to do with inserters. We good? We good? We're not quite getting enough steel through, are we? Okay. That makes sense, because this is only level 1. Let's double that up. Let's double that up. Are we getting more material through? Are you happy, my friends? Not quite, because I'm double feeding 2 sets there, aren't I? Yeah, so it needs to go up again, I think. Well, actually, it's probably make that one high level. Why are you not working? Photon spotlight mining. So that's the new miner. Are you working now? What were you moaning about? Looks like they've all got stuff. Have I ended up with rubbish in my inventory? A little bit. Right, so let's pop them back in there. Oh, bum. I hit the clear and reset by accident. Right. Where are all of them then? Well, I hadn't realised these represent stacks of material, so it's not actually... I thought it was single items, but it's literally one bit of titanium. One stack of titanium rather than one bit of titanium. Right, so what does that need to be? That needs to be like 4,000. That needs to be a remote request. Awesome. I say I haven't bumped up the number of drones on this planet. I need to do that at some point. But so that's kind of doubled, maybe-ish, that production. But we're soon going to run out of sulfuric acid. So what we'll do, we'll have a play about with the new technologies, because we're now on to the upgrades. So we've got all the new technologies. So we'll have a play about with them to the extent that we can. Let's say I need exotic materials to do that with some of them. So we'll certainly have a go with the old new spray printer. But first I need to... was it here? No, there's only one there. There should be somewhere it's got two oil veins. Nice and close together. Crude oil. Oh, it becomes difficult to work things out, this. I remember them being central, but my memory could well be broken. It might just be the one. Because there's one there. Is there somewhere? Those already exploited? Yeah, those are already exploited. Here we go. This was it. So it's these two. We can use these two, plus we've got water here, you see, to make more sulfuric acid. Oh, where's that? That's sort of down in this direction, isn't it? I'm going to say, we'll use them as an opportunity. Was this it? Yeah, here we go. Here we go. More sulfuric acid. Okay, so first we need to mine them. So I might as well grab those. These should be in... Actually, I'll show you that... Shall I? Because I don't want a million things. I could show you the demand system in action. My little way of getting... No. All the stuff. Here we go. So we could order up some chemical plants instead. Because we only need like a few of... No, that's... No, let's not do... Let's do both of them. Is it on 10%? I had to change... In fact, the drones will bring it over, so it'll be okay. Yeah, but how I use it, and it's better on another planet, but what I'm doing with it to order stuff up is plopping one down, and then saying, right, what I need, and say I'm on another planet, you see, so I've not got easy access to these. But what you can do, you see, you plop on, and you say, plop on. You say, right, we want chemical plants. We want... I'll have to make them. I haven't got any oil extractors. And we want oil refineries, right? And we say, we set this quite low, say, it's a bit weird how it works them out, but we'll set them both to 100. That's way more than we need, but we then hit local supply, becomes local demand because it's on this planet, and the drones bring them over, basically. So I say, on the planet we can just take them out of the logistics stations directly. But when you're off planet, you turn this to remote supply, particularly for belts, because you'll end up, you run out of belts. And so you just put in, you say, right, I want, some level 2 belts. And you say, we want lots of them. We want 1,500 of them. Please bring me loads. And you hit that to remote supply. A few seconds later, or a minute later or whatever, you've got 1,500 belts. And you don't have to bother going back to the planet. So they've brought them over. What I normally do, just so I don't mess up, is turn these to local storage, or remote storage first. Take out what we want, because say you can get inventory explosions quite easily. So it's worth sort of leaving it there until you've finished and happy. Right, and then we need to make a couple of these. oil extractors. But yeah, obviously the system also has all the basics in, so things I'm making by hand, like water pumps and stuff. You know, I can just order up more circuits and stuff. I don't. It's the equivalent of Factorio's drones. Let's be frank. It's, you know, Factorio's logistic drones. So, you know, that's what it's doing for me. Where am I actually going to put the? Be most convenient to have it in here, wouldn't it? Why has that gone orange? Are we literally running out? We're running out of power. It's because there's so much going on. I haven't boosted up the amount of like solar and stuff here because I was hoping. Let's have a look. See. These are the lifetimes of the sails, and the gaps of where, you know, you've had the conjunction where you can't fire things in. I was hoping we might be getting more power. I guess maybe I'm limited on generation capacity 200 megawatts. Now, is that both? That's everything, isn't it? I think. Oh, you can see it's filled some of them in, look. So, and you see how it's done them across the different things. So it's not, they're not all gone into one. But these are the completed ones now, the actual bits. So there's 200 ones available. Is that me running out of demand? Because we should really be putting photon things in there, you know, lenses in, but I haven't actually technically unlocked that. Dyson Sphere status. Requested power. Oh, I hate them. Things on that. And this is rubbish as well. Local planet. So you're saying capacity is 400. What's the problem? Oh, the problem is that the demand is 500 and odd? Wow. But it's, why is it flickering like that? I guess that's launching the rockets. Why is my power production not going up? Have I just been dumb there? 0.998 in editor. Well, this doesn't look wrong. Generation capacity 21.4. Generation capacity 180. So it is drawing power from it. It's just eventually, it's basically, we just need more, and cost of production for them, because the actual launchers are quite expensive. Weirdly, even though it's got the chemical rocket on, it uses electricity. So it's just a case of it needs to get bigger, basically. We are I think we're at a point where we could do with a few more of these, and we could certainly do with unlocking, like putting graviton lenses into them. No, isn't that? I could also do some of them now that I've got green cubes. Is it worth cancelling them out? I think it's probably worth cancelling them. But I do want that though. So that'll help a little bit eventually when it happens. The other option is to stop research, because that's quite a heavy demand as well. But it's this basically we need to do. And then we need to do a bunch of them so that we can start incorporating the panels in the system. Oh, did I not? Oh, I thought I queued that one up. Okay, let's kill that. I thought I'd already put that one on. Let's do that one, and then that one. Oh, sorry, that one. And then that one. And then I can put the lenses. They're really helpful, the lenses, because it means basically the ones that aren't pointing at the... Because these are, you know, same with like all of, you know, solar panels and all that sort of stuff. If they're not pointing at the star or at the, you know, panels or any, you know, the Dyson Sphere or anything, then they don't get the power out of it. And what the lenses do is it allows these to basically bend gravity, so create a gravity well, and basically then that pulls the photons in, essentially, is what it's sort of saying. So that basically, even though they're on the dark side of the planet, you know, they can still draw power, or not properly in line of sight, etc., etc. But yeah, okay. I mean, I could chuck in a bunch more solar and stuff. I was sort of hoping to avoid that. It's intermittent, I guess, because this is only firing occasionally. But we're doing okay. I mean, we're doing a lot better than I thought we would, actually. Yeah, I think it's just a case of waiting for it to catch up, basically. So once it's done all of those, and, you know, all these sort of researches are done, we'll suddenly find we're probably like energy positive. But I could also stick in more fusion reactors and things like that. But I say it gets a bit, you know, we want to do the Dyson Sphere, so that's how we don't want to stick in too much temporary stuff. You know, because we want to do the Dyson Sphere. Right, as I say, where am I going to put these? It's probably best if I sort of landfill this little bit of water. I'm guessing eventually, you know, if you do run out of power, that will be much more problematic. You know, when you've got defences and stuff. Because I can't imagine they'll let you get away with not having to build, you know, defensive structures in some way. So maybe if we take... So if this is the water... Water. Come on. Coming this way. I am right with that. I've not lost the plot. Because we need sulfuric acid. Is the processed oil. Yeah, okay. So what we need to do is combine these two together. So if the water comes that way, like that, we might as well use this one if it's here. Is it in a bad place? Yeah, it's in a bit of a bad place, isn't it? But if we imagine it is there in that line, so if that's the water, then we'll probably end up with the stone out the middle type of thing. And then the oil needs to come up. Say we have the oil processing here. And come up like, say, like that. It'll probably be in the back of it in the end, but up the middle. And then we have the chemical labs doing the actual sulfurizationing. And of course they have 4 slots, but the inserters only reach across 3. So if we put them either side like that, and then, excuse me, this is the output. So we'll have to move this that way a bit. And then that's the output for that one. Okay. So, the oil refineries need to be where? I like the double-ended one I've done in another part of the base. So where it's like that. I quite like that design. But that's across a boundary, isn't it? Across a latitude thing. If I was to put... that there. But then the output is there. If they were somewhere... Yeah, they'd fit, because we can put this one at, say, that angle. Will you fit now? Yeah, perfect. In fact, I could go down one. Oh, we don't need to, but just in case... No, I couldn't, so... That does have to be, yeah, to clear. Okay. So if we have the oil input... So we can... You know, I need to bring that one round, but the oil input, say, here. Like so. And then... Going to need to do something with the hydrogen. But... Oh, I sorted out as well. So I've done loads. I say, and I should have streamed some of it. Zubanelganubi 2, the ice giant, planet ice giant, has... I've maxed out the collectors, basically, so it's now got on there. What I'd forgotten, and probably why we completely ran out of hydrogen last time, is I'd forgotten to do anything with the fire ice. So fire ice is now also being processed. I don't know where it is. Crikey only knows. But fire ice is now being processed. It's somewhere actually close to the... In fact, there it is. There you go. So fire ice is coming in. You get hydrogen out of fire ice as well. So hydrogen is not too much of a problem. You also get graphite, and I'm just burning the graphite at the moment, but which is not great. We should be converting it into nanotubes, really. But you get so much of the graphite, it's like, you know, not really needed. That's a bit weird. Why is that? Oh, because that belt's at too low level. Bum. It's a whole overflow system I did, but unfortunately that's at yellow. So it's burning it when it should be sticking it in there. But yeah, I mean, you know, graphite is probably running a bit low generally, so I could actually do in more fire ice production. But again, I've squished things together that basically mean I've not got any room. Yeah, so I'm now processing fire ice basically, and what happened with the two that I had up there is they were full of fire ice with nothing to do with it. And so we're now at least processing some fire ice, though as you can see, not a lot. And that needs ramping up quite a lot. It's a really useful one, fire ice, but I say I'd completely forgotten about it, as I often do. Right, so let's take this one out now, because I don't think it'll explode my... No, there we go. My inventory. So I can extend these belts a bit. Probably up to there, maybe? And say, we will have a play about with the new thing. New techs. I want to get this running first. So if that ends up being there, these end up being out to there, say. Cool. This is here. Now, how am I going to do the whole oil thing? So we take that belt out. Do I want to... Yeah, let's do a little hop, skip and a jump across the belt here. So if I go to that one, like that. Is that going to work? So you go to there. Oh, it's a bit close to the, you know, meridian line. That's not ideal. Am I going to go one on each side, maybe? So we need to... Oh! I could put hydrogen in there. Yeah, let's do that then. So if we take that layer in, and then this, excuse me, this goes across here. Turn this into a little bunny hop, as I've started calling them for some reason. So one of these is going to be hydrogen, and since it's that one going in there. Oh, that might be tricky because I need... No, that'll be fine. Belt goes there. That's okay. I can't put that belt in because I'm going to use the copy and paste again, you see. So it needs to be a single repeatable unit, ideally. We might have to do some hooking up with these. They're a bit of a pain, the old oil ones, when you're copying them up. So, the idea is we've got... So we need to take that bit out. We'll test it out. It's quite good. That? No, actually it's that. No. That should be okay, I think. But anyway, so this one, these are the inputs. Like that. So that's the oil coming in. And then we want hydrogen as the bottom one. Oh, I need the other... Yeah, let's do it... So if we copy this again... Yeah, so... We'll have a single belt on either side, basically. So, and it'll alternate. So basically this needs to be hydrogen. We need another one here. Like that. Take that back. Hydrogen there. So we'll probably end up having to hook these up properly, manually, but and so that's that one. Why have you not got a inskirter? And then so that's not hydrogen now. Why can't I select that? That's... No? Set filter. Refined oil. There we go. And this one needs an output. Except it's not because... No, that'll be okay. No. So get rid of that. So the bottom one is always coming out of the left-hand machine and is the refined oil. The top one is always coming out of the right-hand machine. Yeah. So this is hydrogen. There. And then they should tile, basically. Except not, because that's meant to be... That's not oil, is it? Let's get rid of that. Oh, why have you done that? Why is that not connected? You've been weird there, bots. You've been weird. Right. And so... that one should be hydrogen. That one should be processed oil. That one's processed oil. That one's hydrogen. Hydrogen. Yeah, okay. So let's try tiling that one. Try copying that one. Like that. Use now. Oh, you're not going to let me do that, aren't you? Are you? Because... No. This is still the problem with it, though. The whole... belts not overlap and not letting you overlap belts fully. You can sort of do them like as long as it's the very end tile, but we can put all the inserters and stuff in. Now, speed of production. So you're going to make that if we were managing to fill you with a level 1 belt, can I do it on here? Then it's 6 a second, but it needs half an oil a second, basically. Right. So that's 1 oil, 2 oil, 3 oil, 4 oil, 5 oil, 6 oil. So it's, in theory, it's too many. I might end up upgrading the belt. The difficult bit is I now can't really see, can't really connect to the belts properly. I just say it's why it's a bit of a pain. It doesn't let you overlap the belts entirely, even though they're exactly the same level of belt. You know, it seems to be not, you know, not a fan of having exactly the same belt. Right, so this needs to be crude oil, which we have here, but we'll plop in, if I've got any. Here we go. Fluid tank. In fact, shall I maybe... We'll have to see. I'm not sure where I'm going to put these you know, experimentations. We'll get it set up normally. Oh, there's one missed there as well, isn't there? So that needs to be there. 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 So go up a little here. Across to here. Into there. And then you need one of those. And put it that way around, maybe? Yeah, let's put it there. Have you come out of there? Go up and across to... no. So if you go down to there, then up, because I might need more water. I've not done the maths on that yet. Glide with other object. What other object are we gliding with? Okay. And then do my favourite little trick with the old turbines. Not that I've managed to power it. Have I managed that? But we'll chuck one of them in rather than the substations. That should get the water flowing. And we need to connect this to something. Like that. We'll use substations then for this. Lovely. They're better off in the middle, actually, because obviously it's a circular radius, but you can offset them like this. That's sort of just as good, but not quite. You're the output, aren't you? So that's sulfuric acid going in there, and that's it going in there. That. Oops, what are you missing? Should I put the water and stuff in? I need to order up stone, but we can have water, stone. Is it worth putting the oil in? I haven't got it available anywhere else. Sulfuric acid. Right. So this... Oh! We have an autosave. I need to get the inserters, etc. done. So... actually, I need to set the recipe as well. Sulfuric acid... An exerter. It's given the orange because it's just not got the juice. See what I mean? that, and then these will fit. Yeah. So copy that down. That's probably too many. I don't think. Not actually sure on the maths on this. I'm keen to get on and play with the new toys. Do that one. But I also want to get a bit more, because it was catastrophically, but you know, tiny. Oh, it's not copied over for some reason. Oh, lack of item. Right, let's order up some items then. Let's order up some. Oh, actually, well, yeah, okay. I need to order in coal and stuff, don't I? And it was diamonds, was it? Diamant and nanotubs. So I'm just going to play about with these because these are new to me. So, we're not actually going to use them in the build. I just want to see what they do, if anything. If we can get them working. Here we go. So we need. What do we need? Oh, that's my wrist again. We need level 1 sorters, which are in this one. There they are. Grab them. There you go. I had to actually set this up with a recycling system because I've been upgrading a lot of belts on the other planets to increase the volume of production. And I was coming back with thousands and thousands of level 1s, so I put this little thing in to basically it turns them into level 2s. I'm guessing eventually I would probably have the same problem with 2s, but kind of not, in that I'm not sure how much level 3 improvement I would do in this particular save. Yeah, anyway, so what were we missing? Oh, it's already done them. There we go. Why is it not running? It's not running because I have not put in. So what's the ratio? So it's 4, 6, 8, 4. So if we set that to 8, then that to 4, and then that one to 6. I mean, obviously this is filling up rather than emptying, as is that one, but what the hell. So it's local supply, remote supply, local supply. Did I not connect that? Oh, these aren't powered, okay. Why is there no stone? There's no stone because I've not set demands. Supply and supply, we need to put bots in. We need to put not 100 bots. And then we need to power this bad boy. I say that you have to avoid putting them too close. So they are better sort of central to the system. Maybe if I put one there, one over there. They do literally, I mean, they literally go in the air. It's like a, they're more Tesla than the Tesla things. It's a bit. Oh, it didn't copy the recipe. Oh, I hadn't put the recipe on. So I'll just chunk them through. Okay, are you running? You are. We're going there. So we're getting. It's like this isn't 2 full yellow belts. It's sort of most of 2. So I could put this on green, and it should actually do all of them. Right. Are you lot getting enough water and stuff? Oh, I haven't connected that bit. There we go. Stone doesn't appear to be getting to all of you very well. It's quite a slow recipe, so it shouldn't be too. Shouldn't need too much high level voltage. What about you? Are you running? No. Actually, wait for oil. See, it's already stacked up the stone. 3, 4. Oh, it needs 8 though, doesn't it? Yeah, so we'll probably boost that one up. The old stone. And then we can just copy this down. There's another thing I discovered. If you just recopy it, it upgrades. It does the like individual upgrades. It's quite cool, this game, really. So copying that down turns those upgrades those one inserters, so you don't have to go through fiddly doing all, because the chain insert doesn't. It's like it's all of the belts, but it won't do the inserters on the things. And if you upgrade the machines where that's applicable, it doesn't do the inserters as well. So you're not getting enough oil, are you? There's still not enough. Oh, I didn't upgrade the belt. So no wonder there's not enough. One more level, or are we fine? What are you waiting on? You're waiting on oil. Oil is queued. It is queued. So let's upgrade the belt there. We know we can upgrade that and get some more on working. Hydrogen. I did not put the hydrogen into this machine. Hydrogen. That could end up as a blocker because what was that? Oh, that was the veins one. Okay, that could end up as a blocker because I'm not sure. Although I suppose we're making deuterium and using it now, so maybe it'll be okay. We'll set that to that. We need to put this in here somewhere. Like that. Probably need to upgrade that belt. So we are now using the hydrogen, so hopefully... Yeah, so it's already taking it away. But this, I say, sort of this late game kind of turns into the classic building game thing of chasing back bottlenecks and sort of finding the point in the chain where that's the material you're not producing and producing more of that, and seeing if you're lower, you know, so where you've got the production chain going up of more complicated materials. Why are you not running? Wait. Set to refined oil. Oh, it's full of hydrogen. We don't have an output. Okay. Why have you not got an output? Huh. So you would be that machine. So why has that one got an output but that one hasn't? Maybe because the belt wasn't there when it was pasted? Weird. Okay. So, are you okay? Are you okay? You okay? What about you? You've got an output. I guess because the belt wasn't there, because it was like blueprinted belt rather than actual belt, it didn't put those in. Bit odd. This is stacking up more, okay. That's what we'd like to see. Hydrogen's fine though, is it? Yeah, hydrogen's fine. Hydrogen. Yeah, it looks like it's all running. Since this is stuttering, we could probably afford a couple more. So water's not quite getting down to the end. But then neither is the oil still. I don't think we've produced... I'll have to fiddle about with that. But anyway, let's play about with the new stuff. So, first off is this thing that I still haven't used. Let's make one of them. See what that's all about. Can I put that on an existing spell? I can. What does it do? Whatever it does it in Chinese, apparently. I don't know what that's going to be saying. Fail? What's fail? Condition. Oh, I see. So this is like a logic test. Okay. Have we got water? There's water. So if the target... Okay. Set monitoring cycle. Obtain a stable reading by setting the monitoring cycle the same as the manufacturing time of the corresponding product. Okay. So the condition I've got there is less than. So is it less? So it's saying is it less than 7? It's doing 360 per second per minute, and I'm asking it to be the test condition I'm putting on is whether it's less than 706 per minute. So if I change that to greater than, it fails the condition because there's only 360 coming through. Okay, so you can use these to basically test, and obviously it's going to tell me that somehow. I'm wondering if it's got a very own... So I guess it's like a critical failure thing. If you can put these on and sort of say, it will basically tell you you've run out of sulfuric acid, you know, because it's not coming through at the rate you need it to. Right, so that's quite useful. But probably more an end game thing, isn't it, really? What does it do if I put that exactly 360? If I can get 360. And we put that to greater than or equal to. Hmm. 356? I guess it wouldn't need to... No, the equal to should be okay. So, less than? 80? Oh, so it's doing an... Oh, I see. It's doing an alarm. Because I'd set that to pass. Okay. Okay, so it's just like a logistics, you know, system, or logic system rather, to say, here's a test we want to do. So, for example, if I was, you know, putting that on, well, sulfuric acid or the alloy, then it would I could use it to alert me, you know, your titanium alloy is failing, or deuterium or something. You're not getting any, and then I'd be able to come and see, oh, that's because I've not got any hydrogen or whatever. So useful, but probably more for someone who's better at doing setups. Okay, so that's interesting. What about... So this is producing more than this is doing, and we were running out of water, so we might as well level 2 that. Okay, what about the other things we got to play with? So we've now got... I mean, we got that. I can build them. Let's just build one. And at some point I may go and... You know, we may be going... You know, have a look at some of them. But this is that's the model of it anyway. As it says, it needs to be built on lava. Excuse me. But this is the new spray coater. Have I even got any of them? So let's build one each of... Well, let's build 3 of them. Oh, and this is the other thing, isn't it? The automatic piler. Let's see what that does. Can I put that on an... No, you have to put that in into a belt then. So if we put that in this water again then, what does it do and how does it work? Piler. Is it that way around or that way around? Maybe it doesn't matter. Well, it looks like if it's piling them up, this is the big end, as it were. Your big end's gone, mate. Your big end's gone. Okay. Oh, I see. These are double stacked, some of these. It's not doing all of them. I guess because it's not a fully compressed belt. Now what do the machines do with that? Are they taking one layer off or difficult to tell? It's all happening too fast. I mean, the ones here look like single stacks, but is that because it's grabbing the double stacks? Double stack, double stack. Gotta get a double stack. I think it grabs the double stack rather than sort of taking a layer off it. Okay, let's see if we can. If we try and compress this belt, maybe with water. See what it does then. And presumably it just automatically does. You would have to do the research and then it automatically puts it in 3 piles. So let's just make a few more water pumps. I'm not sure how many will fill a belt. Oh, you're out of power range. Can I put one of them in? No. Right. I hate that it does this as well. When it connects the belts up, it puts the plumbing up lower level one in. If you've put the lower level one in. Right, so that's completely compressed that belt. More than, there's more than enough production to completely fill that belt. Okay, and it's now double stacking all of them. So they need to go in compressed. Otherwise, if there's a gap, it won't put them together. But what we should be able to do is reduce that, and then it's a double stacked. It looks like it. Yeah, if there's. Oh, no, we're not completely fully incomplete. There is gap in this thing. Why has it done that then? That's a bit weird. Maybe if I. Oh, I've not got one yellow left, so have I? Well, these are yellows, but. Okay, so it's not quite fully, compressing it as a double thing. Oh, I mean, this is now full. Okay. So what would be the utility of that? I guess the utility of it is you're able to use lower level belt to transport more stuff. Or, in particular, if you're at the stage where you're doing level 3 belt, you could move an enormous amount of material. I think that's probably, it's best to support, if you're doing belts rather than bolts, the advanced mining machine. I say that can output like 9 belts. So you can have it output all of those on like level 3. And then rather than have to put 9 belts into your logistics station, you use one of these to turn it into whatever you want, 3 belts or whatever, 2 belts, by stacking it up. But yeah, one of these with, is it 3 it goes up to? Let's have a look. Because it's... no, upgrades. Oh, in fact, how do I... Can you chain them? Because that's it. That implies that you could do 4. Insert the output cargo stack count in the configuration of the logistics station. Yes, it's just these are just the logistics stations. So can I chain this? Let's do that in a minute. Is there no? There's no upgrade to turn it into a a 3-stacker or a 4-stacker. Is there? No, because we've done the new text. And this isn't configurable. But can I put 2 in a row? That's the question. I'm guessing you probably cut... Well, you can put 2 in a row, but it won't do anything. Because otherwise, you could just do it infinitely. In fact, let's give that a go. Let's do a couple of them. And then we'll... I guess if we make a little hole there, put that in. And then, where have you gone? Where are you? There you are. So, I'm going to leave a little gap, because it's... Oh, and that's right next to that. But let's just do 2 in a row. So, come out of there as 2. Is it going to come out of there as 4? It is! Oh, no, it's 3. 1, 2... Is it 3? No, it's 4. Oh, I can't see that. It's going too fast. It's 4. Cool, blimey. So you can just stack them. How far can you go? Can I get another one in somewhere? Oh, I suppose it becomes like self-redundant in a way, in that... if you're putting in... Where have they gone? There we go. If it's level 3, it's not gonna... Why won't you go in there? There you go. It sort of doesn't really give you any benefit if you stack it 20 high. And they go in there as 4. This isn't compressed. That's the other problem, isn't it? You would need to super compress it. I wonder if you can get temporarily that effect by putting it as level 3. No, it looks like there's a limit for... So this isn't stacked, even though it's getting a compressed belt. It's not stacking it any further. So there is a limit. Okay. But you can double stack. Double stack, double stack. Gotta get a double stack. So one of the... If you could compress... I mean, because you could put, like, multiple going in, I guess? Do side loading. So have several double stacks. And then side load it all together. And have a compressed blue belt with 4 item stacks. Oh my god. So if that carries 30 items a second, and you could 4-stack it, you'd get that done. 120 items a second appears to be your maximum belt throughput now. Wow. 120 items a second. And I guess that's what this is. I mean, it obviously lets you double stack. Oh, I've done it again. Double stack them. Because that's effectively what this gives you. Because this is saying 2-stack, 3-stack, 4-stack. So if you put a blue belt coming out of a logistics machine with the 4-stack technology, you'd have 120 items coming out per second. So you need to have 120 going in. Wow. Wow. Okay, well let's leave that as was. So I'll take it back to... Oh, it's nearly 5 o'clock. Nuts. That was blue belt. Oh, must have been that. I mean, I could go a bit later. But basically, the next thing we need to do... So if I grab... So if we grab, say, like 300 of each or something, get it to bring these over. I don't actually know where any of them are, but get them all coming in. Oh, get rid of that water. I don't think I can I? Oh yeah, I can. Water. So we need to have a look at what this spray coater does. This isn't a good example to do it on, is it? Because... Do these have a... Oh, they do. So can I just spray coat oil? Let's give that a go. Let's see if that works. Right, how do we do it then? Can it... Will it... Oh, it'll sit on top. Okay. Reserves. Okay. So we need to put it in there basically. So how do you make them? Let's just hand make a few. So this is level 1. This is level 2. This is level 3. And what do you need? You need... Oh. So... Plop, oh, no. Plop all these to storage. Right, let's grab some of that. Pop that in there. How many do you get? Oh, 10. So it's 1 to 1. Okay. 20. Because this is 2 to 1, isn't it? This requires 2. That requires 2. Okay. I'll be better off just feeding them in via a chesticle or something. I can find them. Have I even got any anymore? Might have got rid of them. No, there we go. So, pop these in here. So, right, probably do just so that. Always with the too close, hey game. Always with the too close. Right, and then let's try again. Always with the too close. Right, so let's grab a bit more. Put that in there, so you get a chunk of them. So that gives me 60 odd. So you need diamonds. And you need them. So put that in there. There. Say let's put half of them in there for now. Oh, of course I need 2. So that'll do what it's meant to do. And then we get a few of them. Chop them in there. Right, so. Wait, where did they go? Oh, I put them the wrong way. What? Half of them in there. Chop them in there. Only 3. What are we doing? You need filters as well, do you? It's not as good as Factorio with this sort of stuff. So you need to be green, and you, yeah, carbon nanotubes, proliferators, and that needs to be diamonds. Then I should have just set this up as a belt thing rather than assuming it would work. Right, okay. How many have I got of each now? So we got 120 of them, okay. 18 of them, only 3 of them. What are you... Let's grab them. Put them in there. Are you working? You're working, okay. You lack yellow ones. Okay. Let's put them in there then. Oh, you're making it painful. Them. Sort that. Right. A few more in there. Say, because it's like a 2 to 1 thing, so it's like not particularly favourable ratios for what I'm doing. You're making them. Let's chuck a few more in there. Right, yellow ones. So, oh, I'm gonna have to put it in as a belt anyway, aren't I? Right, okay. Let's draw a belt along there, and then we'll put it into this, I think. Must be your... Oh, dear game. Dear. There. Why are you not... Oh, it is inside. That looked like it was over the top of it. Right, so first one then. Put you in. Put you in. Now what happens? This is the question. These are our proliferators. We're not being delivered enough to really fill this thing, are we? What's... What? Why can't I select the... There we go. So that's a volume. Okay, so it's not a one-to-one, you know, cargo thing to thing. These aren't sprayed onto each thing. This is like a container of the proliferator fluid. Okay, that's not at all bad then. We'll take all of them out of there though, and chuck them in there, so we can get some green ones on the go in a minute. Let's put the blue ones in there. And what's happening? These are coming through. They've got a little arrow on to say that they're... Oh, but they're going into here, aren't they? And that's presumably getting rid of that. Okay, let's get rid of this then. Oh no. In fact, let's not get rid of this. Let's take that belt out and that belt out. So I've been wasting them, basically. Oh well. It's only coal. Right, so now the ones with arrows on are going in. And what's happening? So it should be giving me extra products. Is that arrow meant to indicate? Oh, it is, I think. 5 points. Proliferator stacked. 5 points. Proliferator effect 5 points. Extra production. So it should be going slightly faster. There's a proliferator effect in the corresponding production facility. And we should be getting a bit of free... Oh, there's a little extra bar. So that extra bar, Factorio style, is your extra product. I guess. Maybe we'll see it tick over. Because it's only level 1, so it's only very occasional extra product. Yeah, that went up to 3. Yeah, so we got an extra little bit. Okay. That's not bad then if it's, say, if it's like a fluid that you put in. Okay, well let's try the next level up then. Let's go with the green one. So I can't see why this wouldn't be exactly the same, but obviously it needs to wait for that reserve to go sort of first. Just top that up in there. Yeah, so it's full, you see. So it doesn't take much to fill them at all. So even if it was just a speed thing, that's not too bad. What I was worried about is that it become one-to-one, like these products. You would have to effectively use one coal for every single product that you were putting in. Are we getting to the... I presume it gives it a different... Oh, it's a double dash. Or double arrow. Okay. I thought it might be a green arrow, but double arrow is fine. Okay, and now what are you doing? 20% extra product. Okay. But it's... Oh, of course, I guess it's still got the old ones in there? Which is why we're getting a mixed thing, where it's get 3 items and 2 items. So it's still got some of that? That doesn't quite make sense, does it? Well, I guess it has to do an entire cycle? That's not even getting oil. Which it wouldn't, because this is only one lane. What are you at? Okay, 2 and 4. It looks like it's almost like a cumulative effect, because that's now getting only... It's got 1 item, so it's producing better bonus, but it's only getting it very occasionally, because we've only got, you know, half an input lane. Oh, and it's now glowing green. Very pretty. Let's get the blue stuff on the go. Might be a while before that comes through. I like that then. I like that. I was rather afraid this would be not very good, but yeah, I like that. In principle, I mean... Oh, we're back to... Oh, is that because the Dyson Sphere is... Bits are done. They are done! Okay. We're now getting 223. Okay. Is that helping us? Okay, so I'll sticking more on them on while we wait for... So let's pause that. Oh, in fact, I can't pause that if I'm waiting. So we will add some of these in. Like this. Because I'm doing such a simple design, the movement's not actually that much of a problem. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that gave us 10 in total. So, can we tell? Is it going to show me? Layer 1. So that's generating 45 megawatts. And that's generating 177 megawatts. So only 5 nodes generated, what was it, 45? 45, 90, 180. So only 5 of the nodes is like a quarter of the power coming out of our entire Dyson swarm. So you obviously, because these are, I'm putting them on the major axes, we're going to get 336 of them. Or is it 180? Because I think those are 20-degree increments, aren't they? So 20, 40, 60, 80. No? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 20, 130, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 200. Oh, it might have some weird... It might be 15 degrees or something then. Because that doesn't look like any kind of sensible division. But it was 15 degrees. Would that make sense? Yeah, I think it's 15. Because it must match, it must make these squares basically effectively then. Because it goes up, that's like 15, 30, 45, 70, and then, yeah, that must be it. But I'm guessing our power's now... Oh, we're just coping. No, we're not. We're just not coping. But we'll be there. This next round, we'll be there, I think. We'll be able to support ourselves while we're launching rockets. Okay, so the blue stuff's going in. It's got a triple dash on it. I guess that thing it was saying about the cumulative effect. Yeah. So if you were putting in, say, a 1 dash on one side and a 3 dash on the other, that's how it copes. Because you know, it's effectively mixing the effects. I guess a way of thinking about it is that it's like a lubricant or something. You know, it's lubricating the internal machine to make it more efficient. And so that's why it's like a... It seems to be more like a delayed effect in a sense, where it's like... It's a shame it doesn't go into these though. As in, it keeps going for extra thing. What happens if I put the speed on? So that runs out then, the bonus line, and instead this just rattles through quicker. Okay. I think I prefer having free stuff. Cool. Okay, I like them. Those are good additions. It does suddenly open up the fact that none of my setups are really able to cope with that. But yeah, I mean, you know, burning one piece of coal, particularly, I mean, I guess you have to do, like, burning one piece of coal to get a bunch of free stuff. Isn't that bad a conversion rate then? I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up that one piece of coal, even that, you know, it's a 12.5% bonus, but like across all the items that it does, that's one extra item. So effectively it's sort of converting one piece of coal into one extra item of whatever you fed in. Now, as I understand it, and this obviously, I'm not going to test this because I do need to stop. But as I understand it, if I was feeding it in here, in fact, can we test that? Not sure we can we? Because I can get rid of this. Can I put it on here instead? Did I get those back? Or are they just in my inventory anyway? That's an interesting question. If we put it on, say, the water, like that, what effect does it have on the sulfuric acid? So if we feed the blue in here, this is like this, I assume, because you can have a whole row of them and feed it across. I can't manually. Can I manually put this in? We can. Okay. So it's good. I mean, we're not really using the water very much. If I just sort of manually pull some of this out of the system. That's what we've got. Oh, we have bonused water in our inventory. Okay. But sulfuric acid is now full, basically. We're not doing anything with it. I could set this higher, couldn't I? And it'll chunk through it. Get producing. Are you getting an effect? You are. I can't see a blue line. maybe it'll do the speed bonus? Well, it's not getting enough refined oil because I've sort of handicapped it. I can't see it doing that, so it looks like you probably do have to feed every item in with the bonus in order to get it to do anything. Because at the moment we're just getting like enhanced water in, like super water in. What does it do if I do that? That gets rid of it. Well, it's got 32 stack points on it. That'll take some more experimentation, I think. But I think you have to put everyone in as with the stack bonus for it to do anything. Because it doesn't appear to... There's no extra bonus line, and that was saying 0. Okay. I need to stop. Yeah, so that's it for today. I will be back tomorrow. In fact, let's put my... Didn't update this, did I? Hang on. Let's put my... Where is it? Schedule. No, wrong one. Get it right in a minute. Yeah, so this is my schedule for the weekend rather. It's the same as last week, which is basically Dyson Sphere Program today. And then Factorio will be continuing the Blueprint series. I've been busy on that one as well. I've been a bit naughty on that as well. I've done a whole load of work. Completely reworked the like Kickstarter base, which I should have done on stream, but I got carried away. But anyway, so I'll run through that, and then we do still need to do stuff. So there's still plenty to do before we test out the designs. So maybe that'll be Sunday, but it's probably this week is going to be designing stuff again. I'm really enjoying doing that, but I'm not convinced it makes great streaming. Yeah, so I'll be back tomorrow, 3 p.m. BST, sorry, GMT. There was you can work out the times equivalents on my my Twitch page, and Sunday again will be Factorio, and then back to this on Monday. I doubt I'll play much of this. What we'll probably do on Monday is maybe go to one of these other systems and see if we can't find the old diffraction gratings and the magma planet. We did encounter them when we were exploring, so yeah, might do that. But yes, so this series will be back on Monday. We will also continue the sort of grind of the Dyson Sphere. It's really a case of scaling up. I need to get lots more power on the go before I start doing the energetic photons and all this sort of stuff. But we can do some more researches. As I say, we'll probably head over to the other star systems to get that on the go. Yes, but that's it for today. So back tomorrow. If you wanted to find me on any of the channels, basically, so you can follow me on Twitch, as it says there. Sorry, I keep forgetting you can't see my cursor, and I'm wafting my cursor about. You follow me on Twitch. I also have a YouTube channel which is Trismegistus, but it's alias to Triggle. So you're looking for, you can search for either, and you should find me. But it's Trismegistus alias to Triggles, and then Twitter is the same. Technically it's Trismegistus, but it's alias to Triggles, as I think that's easier to say. Yeah, so if you have been watching, thanks for joining me, and I hope you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been the ever improving Dyson Sphere program. Thanks for watching. Cheers.